Friends, at the very outset, I greet every one of you here on behalf of the people of Andhra Pradesh and India. And we have come here carrying the greetings and good wishes of our people and the blessings of Lord Simhadri Narasimha Swami. And we wish you all the best. We have been elevated to sky high when we had seen the tremendous amount of cleanliness, piety, sanctity that we have seen in your country. We have been really so happy when we have heard the wonderful speeches that have come from the core of the heart from the honorable ministers. And also, I should say how deeply we are moved by your affection, by your love, and the concern you have shown us, especially Sri Venkateshwara Bhaktula Sangham, Sri Parameswari Ananda Ashram, headed by Sriman Satyakama Appaya Gurudev and his disciples. The hospitality and the love they have shown to us and have been showing to us, we have been moved. And we have learned many things during these 30 hours of our stay here, brief stay in a day or two. And we have learned many things. And we have been so glad that we have had to learn many things from you. Telugu has been aptly called the Italian of the East, with its beautiful intonation, the music, the laya, what we call, where when we hear the French, really it was so musical, so beautiful, so fine, so lovely, and we feel how much we'll be missing if we don't learn your French. So we are sure when we come next time, we'll be able to learn some few words to converse with you in the local tongue. And the minister, Veeraswamy has rightly said about the way how the government has been treating the people of different races and religions in this country. The multinational, multi-ethnic relations among the people have contributed to the development of this state. It's a wonderful thing that people have learned to live together, sharing the prosperity, sharing the pangs, the challenges that encounter you. Together you are able to achieve the national integration and social cohesion, culminating in the adoration to divinity. We congratulate you on this happy occasion that we do share the joy of being with you and welcome you to our midst. Whenever you contemplate a visit to Andhra Pradesh or India, do not forget to see and take the blessings of Lord Varaha Lakshmi Narasimha Swami of Simhachalam. Now, with the permission of Satyakam Gurudev Appaya and other friends here, I shall try to make a small presentation for 30 to 40 minutes to make you understand or recall or remember the holy past that contributed to our being here. I will try to speak in Telugu and English. Am I right, sir? Telugu and English. Koncham Telugu, koncham English, depending upon the criticality of the context or liberality of the context. Because among the people of Telugu area, speaking in English may not look really nice, but even if one person is not able to understand what we mean to say, it will be not a matter of pleasure to us. So that way, we will try to speak that way and this way. Now, permit me, sir, to go ahead. This is a presentation on Simhadri Appanna in mythology. Is this Appanna a sudden creation, a sudden development? Why people of this region are trying to organize a global conference on the grandeur of Simhachalam Appanna. What contributed to this? This is the background of the story. I can just go to there. Kindly help me, system. Go to first slide, please. First one. Go to first, please. First line. Right. Thank you. What you see is the original frame of Lord Narasimha Swami in the mythology. Down the history, you know, there are 10 important incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Majja, Kurma, Varahasya, Narasimhasya, Vamanaha, Ramo, Ramasya, Ramasya, Bauthaha, Kalkirevacha. It has been said in mythology, this one, that there are 4 yugas. The 4 yugas are Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga. In Kruta Yuga, the incarnation of Lord Narasimha had taken place. It was million trillion years ago that Narasimha had taken incarnation to prove that God is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent, and easily accessible to his devotees. This story had taken place in the Kruta Yuga. The next Yuga is Treta Yuga. Tretayam Raghunandanaha, Lord Sri Rama has taken incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and it is followed by Dwapara Yuga, when Lord Krishna has taken incarnation of Lord Vishnu. It is followed by the present Yuga, that is Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, Lord Venkateshwara, Lord Balaji, Venkatadi Samasthanam Brahmande Nasti Kinchana, Venkate Samodevo Na Bhuto Na Bhavishyati. So in Kali Yuga, Lord Venkateshwara is Lord Narasimha of Kruta Yuga, Lord Rama of Treta Yuga, Lord Krishna of Dwapara Yuga, and Lord Mahavishnu is none other than Lord Venkateshwara, Balaji in Kali Yuga. The story goes like that. Hiranyakasipu and Hiranyaksha, they were 2 brothers, and Hiranyaksha was arrogant, adamant, stiff-necked to avenge his natural hostility towards Lord Vishnu. He folded the whole earth, the planet of earth, like a mat, and took it and put it under the sea, under the planet of earth. And Brahma was afraid because the planet of earth together with the Vedas had been taken away by Hiranyaksha, and Lord Vishnu, taking the form of a boar, B-O-A-R, Varaha, had slain Hiranyaksha and unfolded and brought the planet of earth into back to the original state and protected the Vedas and hand over the Vedas to Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, who recites the 4 Vedas from the 4 faces. And in this contest, his younger brother Hiranyakasipu was aggrieved. He was annoyed. He wanted to tell a lesson to Lord Vishnu, and he developed natural hostility towards Lord Vishnu. And Hiranyakasipu being aggrieved by the death of his younger brother and wanted to take revenge against him. So Hiranyakasipu did severe penance and got boons not to be killed by a list of things. Poor fellow, he did not think of the logical intervention of Lord Vishnu, who is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. So the list of things did not include one or two things where through Lord Vishnu had taken a sweep and tried to kill him. And Hiranyakasipu started harassing gods, sages, saints, Vaishnavas, Bhaktas, devotees of Lord Vishnu. Because Lord Vishnu will tolerate any evil done to him, but he will not tolerate any evil, insult or injury done to his devotees. He is a Bhakta Vatsala. He is a Bhakta Dasa. Therefore, he wanted to see the end of Lord Vishnu by harassing and causing injury to the Bhagavatottamas or devotees of Lord Vishnu. So he started harassing gods, sages, Vaishnavas, because he was so sure that he will not be killed by anybody because of the boons granted to him. At this contest, Lord Vishnu sent his Sumukha, his servant, to be born to Hiranyakasipu's wife, Leelavati, and the same person was known as Prahlada. And Prahlada had imbibed Vishnu Bhakti, being even while he was in the womb of his mother. Narada, divine sage, preached him, given him invocation of Ashtakshari Mahamantra, Narayana Mantra, which is the sure remedy for all ills and evils that plague the mankind and provide salvation ultimately. So Prahlada had become Vishnu Bhakta, and he was not agreeable to his father because of the hostility between these two people through Lord Vishnu. And Prahlada and Hiranyakasipu, the son and the father, were at loggerheads. Hiranyakasipu was vexed with the Vishnu Bhakti of his son, tried to mend his behavior and mend him in all the ways. Angavaramanandu chikitsakudu dushtangambu khandinchi sheshanga srenike rakshaseyu. He said, just as a surgeon removes the spoiled part of the body to save the rest of the body, he thought, unless I end this boy, my dynasty, my clan cannot be purified. And if I allow him to be a Vishnu Bhakta, there is every danger of the whole family and dynasty becoming Vishnu Bhakta, who was noted, accredited, declared enemy of Hiranyakasipu. Therefore, friends, he tried to mend his behavior. Please go back. But he was not able to mend him. Finally, he thought of ending him. Lord Vishnu had been his savior at every stage of sufferings, meted out to Prahlada all through. Next. And trials and tribulations to Prahlada started, and the Hiranyakasipu's servants, his admirals, asked to throw him into the sea, get him bitten by the most poisonous snakes, drilled him over by the elephants, and tried every way as to how he can end the life of his beloved son, but in vain. Next. The demonic servants, as a last resort, wanted to throw Prahlada into the sea. You are seeing there, between two hills. And near the Mount Simhadri. The Simhadri, Adri means mountain, Simha means lion, the lion mountain. It has been said by some geographical experts that the shrine, the temple and the mountain looks like a lion, according to one geographical investigation. And other reason is it is closely related to the Nrsimhavatara. So the demonic servants who carried out their orders of his Lord, they had taken a last resort of throwing Prahlada into the sea near the Mount Simhadri with a view to place the mountain over him. Lord Vishnu rescued him at a time when Prahlada was about to be thrown into the sea so that he can keep the mountain over and above that. That was the situation. Lord Vishnu at this critical stage rescued him by jumping over the hill and lifting Prahlada up from the sea before Prahlada was about to fall into the terrible sea. This was the scene that contributed to Simhachala. Next, please. Next. Next, please. No, please be attentive.
That's it.
Right. What is this Simhachalam saying? The spelling mistakes may kindly be excused. And because in haste I have prepared this presentation, there are some small typographical mistakes. Kindly bear with me, sir. Later, as you know the story, Hiranyakashipu was killed. Hiranyakashipu challenged his son, "What bloody man, you are talking about Vishnu as the supreme Lord? Can you show him?" Prahlada answered in all politeness, "Father, why do you doubt about it? Indu galadu, andu ledu, andu sandehamu valadu. Chakri sarvopagatandu. Endendu vedakichu uchina. Endendu vedakichu uchina. Andande galadu. Danavagranu vinte. Oh my God, why do you doubt about it? Lord Vishnu is omnipresent. Why do you doubt him? There is no question of doubting his presence in any place. He is here, he is there, he is everywhere. If you do not suspicious, do not have any hunch for the truth. He is present everywhere. Then he asked his son, "Okay, accepted. If you say that Lord Vishnu is present in every being, everywhere, can you show me in this big pillar?" Prahlada answered, "Yeah, you can try. Just as butter cannot be seen in the milk, just as you cannot see the real sun except the sunny rays beaming out from the planet of sun, Devi Surya Sahasrasya Bhave Yugabadadhida. You can see, as if thousands of suns glitter in the midshine, in mid day, we will not be able to see him, but anyway, make an effort, we can find him." So, when Hiranyakashipu tried to give a bump to this pillar, a most wonderful appearance had come. Never before the angels had seen, nor Brahma, nor Shiva, nor Indra, nor Rudra, nobody had seen the most spectacular, wonderful, unbelievable, incredible form. A form of lion and a man put together. Up to the neck point, it is a lion form. Below the neck point, the whole body is of man. Never before did anybody see. This was the situation. So Narasimha came out. He was just waiting. And Hiranyakashipu had got boots that he cannot be killed by anything, a list of things. Neither by man, nor by any animal, nor by any living being, neither in the morning, nor in the evening, nor in the night, nor by anything else. He has given list of things. Poor fellow, he forgot few things which did not include in the list. So, neither in the morning, nor in the evening, neither by man, nor by any weapon, God has chosen so magically a way how this fellow can be put an end. Ultimately, Narasimha had emerged from the pillar and killed him, with the nails. Nail, because the bone is, nobody should kill him who has got life. Can we say that the nails have got life? Yes. Can we say that the nails do not have life? Yes. The nail is having life, the nail is having no life. Because if you cut, again, it creeps, it grows. Therefore, you cannot logically argue it is lifeless or lively. Neither morning nor in the evening, it is in the between two twilights, between day and night, twilight, Sayam Sancha Samayam. Neither inside the house nor outside the house. It was just on the threshold. Like this, Lord Mahavishnu has emerged from the pillar and killed him. And that is the end of Hiranyakashipu. Immediately Prahlada prayed Lord Narasimha, "Oh my God, kindly cool down." It is said in the Shastras and Puranas, even his dear darling Mahalakshmi was terribly afraid to come closer to him. She was shuddering in the shoes that she was not able to gaze at him and see him with a fierce appearance. And Bhaktavatsala Prahlada had prayed him, "Hey Prabhu, oh my father, kindly do not get annoyed. Kindly cool down yourself and give us the best benedictional presents what you are." Being moved by the prayer of Prahlada, Lord Narasimha had taken a cool and comfortable shape. For this reason, please understand, the Maha Mantra of Narasimha, which even to utter, Ugram Veeram Mahavishtam Jalantam Sarvadomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Ruchor Ruchum Namamiham. There is wonderful word, Bhadram. This is the safety wall. This is the radio wall with the great mantra which protects you. Ugram Veeram Mahavishtam Jalantam Sarvadomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam. He just becomes a cosmos, and you say Bhadram, then he starts blessing you. Ruchor Ruchum, he is the killer of the killer. Namam Yaham is Maha Mantra, and Prahlada's prayer has been approved of, and he got cooled down, and Narasimha has become a God who can be loved, who can be taken access. He became accessible, approachable, enjoyable, available, and readily and instantly comfortable to his devotees. Then Prahlada had constructed a beautiful temple in the beginning, but in course of passage of time, from Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, many kings have passed in this story, in the history of this thing. And the temple started decaying to debris. Later, Pururava of lunar dynasty, Chandravamsha, has taken birth. He had got a boon of flying in the space by an aerial chariot. When he was moving and enjoying a ride in the space with his wife, Urvasi, at this point of Simhachalam, where Prahlada has been protected, and Prahlada constructed a temple, there the chariot stopped. When the chariot was stopped, he looked down. He had seen a mysterious vibration that is causing a sort of shelter, a sort of jump and jerk. He descended. On landing, he discovered the Lord on the hill, lying embedded in crest of the earth. Immediately he got a voice from the space, Akashavani. Akashavani said, "O man, do not disturb it. Remove the air, but keep him under cover." So he cleansed the environment, the surroundings, unearthed it and kept it intact. And Akashavani advised him not to expose the idol, but to cover it with sandalwood paste. విగ్రహాన్ని శుభ్రం చేసిన తర్వాత ఆ చుట్టుపక్కలంతా శుభ్రం చేసి ఆ విగ్రహం మీద ఉండేటటువంటి తొలగించవద్దు, ఆ కవర్ తొలగొద్దు కోరింది ఆకాశవాణి. అప్పుడు ఆమె చెప్పిందిట, ఈయన ఉగ్ర రూపంలో ఉన్నాడు కాబట్టి ఆయనకి చందనాన్ని లేపనంగా పూసి ఉంచమని చెప్పిందిట. అప్పుడు అంతకు ముందు ప్రహ్లాదు మాట చెప్పాలి. ప్రహ్లాదు ఏం కోరాడు అంటే, స్వామి, నరసింహుడి గారిని నేను సేవించాను, కానీ మా బాబాయ్ హిరణ్యాక్షుడు ఉన్నాడు, మా చిన్న ఆయన్ని ఆ వేళ మహావిష్ణువు వరాహ రూపంలో కదా ఆయన సంహరించి వేదోద్ధరణ చేసి భూమిని పైకి తీసుకొచ్చాడు. కాబట్టి నాకు మా చిన్న ఆయన, my younger father, మా చిన్నాయన్ని ఏ రకంగా అయితే అనుగ్రహించాడో భగవంతుని చేతిలో చావడం కూడా క్షేమదాయకమే. నికృష్టమైన యాక్సిడెంట్లోనూ రోగాలతోనూ రొప్పులతోనూ చచ్చే కంటే భగవంతుని చేతిలో పోవడం ఒక అదృష్టం. ఏ రకంగా అయితే మా చిన్నాయన్ని రక్షించాడో ఆ రూపంతో పాటు ఏ రూపంతో నువ్వు మా నాయన సంహరించి మాకు ధర్మ సంస్థాపన చేశావో ఈ రెండు రూపాలు కలిసినటువంటి రూపాన్ని